And now back to Real Estate Today with Jackie Malhotra.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on Real Estate Today. I have with me Tiffany Rice here from Davenport Properties. Hi,
Good morning.
Tiffany. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So I want to talk a little bit about you personally and professionally. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in the business and how much you love it.
Well, I've been in this county my whole life, so 34 years, and about 2.5 years ago I decided to get my license. It was just always a passion that I thought I would have for real estate. I love walking through homes and touring, the
Right.
model homes. So
Yes.
and I love people. So I did get my license, and for the last 2 years I've been really busy, and it's just been a blessing to be with Davenport Properties. And
Awesome.
yeah, I love it. It's
Awesome.
everything I thought it would be.
I bet the industry's happy to have you. It's nice
Oh,
to have,
thank
the
you.
young, vibrant realtors out there. and
Energy.
Energy. Good energy is always good.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about real estate safety. And it's something that's very unfortunate in our business, but we do have to be very cautious about, strangers and people that you don't know, and new buyers that come around that, you don't know anything about. And lucky
Definitely.
enough, in Amador County, more than likely, you're lucky enough to know most of your buyers and sellers.
Right.
However, sometimes there's that occasional person that maybe you don't know. So I
Yeah.
want to talk about, how to be safe in this, business, because we are very vulnerable. So I just want to introduce this story that I'm sure all of you guys are aware of. But in the end of September, Beverly Carter, who was a realtor in Little Rock, Arkansas, was found dead. And that was her choosing to show a client a home in the outskirt area, not knowing him, not meeting him, not pre-qualifying him before, and she turned up dead. So it's very important that we as realtors are cautious of
Definitely.
who we're coming in contact with. So it's a very unfortunate situation, and our hearts go out to her and her family for that. But I want to talk about what you personally and professionally maybe do, just to be a little bit more cautious about, who you're showing homes to and
Right.
meeting people for the first time.
I think it's very important to go out to properties that you're going to show and be familiar with the property, for one. Know where you're going, what the surroundings are, but also look into the person, that you're going to be showing the property to. With social media and that type of thing, we have so many resources to look into who somebody is and what their background might be, who they're associated with. So I think that's very important to know kind of who you're dealing with.
Google them.
Google, Facebook, anything.
Yeah.
But also, I think, see if they're pre-approved, if they're really actually in the process
Yes.
of buying a home. Any background you can. We are fortunate up here that we know a lot of people, but we do get outside people coming in that want to move here, retire here, whatever.
Right.
Locate with young families. So I just really think it's great to do your homework beforehand, if you can.
Right.
Not always. I mean, you get walk-ins and you really don't know who you're dealing with, but take a copy of their driver's license for the file. Take somebody with you, another agent with you.
Right.
Travel in a pair if you can.
If you can, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And sometimes people think that it makes you look like you don't know what you're doing, or that somebody's training you, or
Right.
something. But really, your safety is the number one most important thing. So if it's somebody
Yeah.
you don't know, take
There
somebody
is
with you.
no commission worth your safety.
Absolutely
being
not.
it.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not. So what else do you think, going along with these tips? I know you said pre-qualifying somebody. That's huge. You need to make
Right.
sure, because if somebody walks in, they're not pre-qualified and they want to look at homes, that's a
Yeah.
red flag, right?
Exactly. I would think so. I mean, there's so much to do ahead of time before you're actually looking and wanting to make an offer.
Right.
I think that, and some of that takes time, so somebody really should be in the process far before they're contacting a realtor.
Right, exactly.
So that's pretty easy, and I mean, you can even call and see if they are working with somebody at a specific, financial institute or
Exactly.
whatever.
That would make, just more due diligence and precautioning
Right.
yourself to, what this person is and what
Yeah.
they're capable of, and really if they, are qualified or not.
Exactly.
So, and then, telling somebody that you're going somewhere, listening to your gut feeling. If you have somebody walk in and
Right.
they, right off the bat for whatever reason, if they are harmless, it could be, but
Yeah.
if you have a gut feeling, you should listen to that.
Exactly.
Tell somebody to call me, in an hour if you don't hear back
I've
from
done
me.
that several times where I wasn't necessarily uncomfortable, but up here we don't have good cell service. We have a lot
Right.
of isolated areas. I was going out to Fiddletown a lot. My phone didn't work. It's
Right.
20 minutes away from everybody.
Right?
And I just I would tell somebody in the office or say, hey, Debbie, we work
Yeah.
closely together. Do you want to go for a ride? I know you wanted to see this property. Or,
Right.
there are other agents you can make it, sound like they want to go tour the property
Right.
anyway.
Exactly.
But you should never feel bad about, even if someone did feel like you were taking someone with you for safety, that's okay.
It is okay.
This is your livelihood, but you have to, first of all, worry about your safety.
That's right. Absolutely.
So-
And not only working with buyers and sellers, but a lot of us realtors do open houses for our clients, and
Right.
that means opening up our client's house to a bunch
Right.
of random people and strangers. And
Exactly.
some clients may not want that, but
Yeah.
it's very important, in an open house situation.
Right.
I know you were mentioning a story that you had heard. What was that?
Right. I saw on Facebook down south an agent was doing an open house and was attacked, and it was a random act.
Right.
She had no ties to the people. It just is unfortunate that you have to worry about that these days.
It's true. And, some small things I think to be cautious of is, realtors typically drive like a nicer car. And for that
Right.
reason, because we're showing people, that's kind of our office. So you
Yeah.
want that to be a really nice
Definitely.
thing.
Yeah.
So, we often do drive nicer cars. And that's kind of a target.
Right.
Walking in with a huge handbag, people
Right.
are constantly watching you.
Yes.
So it's really important to be cautious of,
Right.
your surroundings and what other
And
people
we
are
keep
doing.
our whole life inside of it.
That's right, in the car and in the purse. So,
yeah.
maybe we shouldn't advertise that, but
I
we
know.
just did. So I just, in this article that I have here, there are a few tips from other realtors that I'm just going to read just a couple of
Yeah.
things about, safety and such. So Debbie Price here from this article said, open houses are scary. I have concealed weapons permit and I know how to use it. Nothing wrong with
Right.
that. If
Nothing
you have
wrong with it.
Use it. If you feel uncomfortable, especially being women. Wouldn't you
Right.
agree that being a woman
Absolutely.
is a little bit more intimidating?
Well, yeah, we're going to be targets probably more than
Yeah.
a male.
Exactly. And I will share an example, actually. I had an open house in Rancho Cordova, and I was just closing up. And I had a couple young kids. And, as a kid, I probably wanted to look in houses too.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit of a diverse area. And I had a couple kids show up as I was leaving. One was on a cell phone, and one was ready to come in. And I thought, I felt weird about it.
Yeah.
So I said, sorry, guys, we're closed. And I shut the door. And off
Right.
they went. And it wasn't, you could tell that they were not there to look at a
To
house
look.
for their family.
Yeah.
They were there. Maybe they saw my car. Maybe they were casing the place. Maybe they knew it was vacant. You never know.
Exactly.
So really, it's very important in this day and age to be cautious and to be safe. Another tip from one of these people here, Rosalie Larson, never turn your back on a client. If you're feeling uncomfortable, look at the house. Know the
Yeah.
escape route, right?
Right.
I mean, what do you
Don't
want?
back yourself into a corner.
Right. When you walk
Yeah.
into a house, what's the first thing you do? You kind of look for all the
Right.
exits, even
And
if it's somebody you feel comfortable with.
Right. And I'll generally welcome someone in like they're coming into the front door, as if they're coming home.
Yeah.
And then I kind of step to the side and give them some time to go through the house. And then
Right.
I'll go through questions and answers. And,
Exactly.
we can walk back through together. But usually they're kind of in front of me where I'm watching everything.
Which makes sense. That seems like that
Yeah.
would be the best tip. So we just are encouraging everybody to be safe out there. Know your limits. Know who
Exactly.
you're taking in and out of a home and putting in your car with you potentially too. So
Right.
just be cautious. And if you have any questions,
Yeah.
you can always Google tips on real estate safety. That's where we found a lot of our information today. So stay tuned with us. We will be right back on a lighter subject to discuss some decorating tips.
All right.
Stay tuned.